All right. Yeah, the YouTube machine's telling me I'm live, so I'm going to assume that I am live. I'm doing the same thing I was doing yesterday, which is updating the Escape adventure and converting it over to my Troupe system. I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, but I changed up the margins and things a little bit, so that's kind of something. But I've already done that, and I did it. I think I did that yesterday to the other section prior to going live. Here's some of this aqua fresca Jamaica for the working man. I believe that one of the things I have to do, I have to add in a little, or I want to add in a little, um, a guidance for running the hex scroll portion, which I don't really think I did. I think I pretty much said, see these other, see these other documents and have at it. Obviously, as I'm running it myself, that's not a big deal, but presumably for others, it might be helpful. And I also need to figure out a couple things to do with treasure, whether I want to keep some of this treasure. I think the shield and the ring are fine because they basically. The thing is, I'm concerned about, or maybe concerned is not the right word. The thing is that I'm I'm attempting to do is with the. I mentioned kind of yesterday when I was talking about speeds of horse, speed of horse. Not worrying too much about stuff where I feel like it's basically what it is. It is what it says on the tin, as they say. So ring of protection +1 just gives you some extra defense. I think that makes sense. I don't. Do I need? Do I really need to write paragraphs and paragraphs about what a ring of protection does? I mean, maybe, but I kind of think that for the most part, and maybe that's a mistake on my part not thinking about because I guess something to keep in mind is I need to think about the new person. Someone who might, I mean, I don't know who that would possibly be, but let's say someone who get this game and maybe they're familiar with role-playing games in general, but not D&D. And so Ring of Protection +1 to them might, I don't know if they're coming from Fate or Powered by the Apocalypse, something else. Might not be super obvious. So maybe I do need to write them out. I will probably put them, maybe I should put them in an appendix of what those things are if they need to. If I feel the need. So there's some of these. The ring of protection, like I said, I think it's fairly obvious, but maybe I need to spell it out a little bit. The broom of flying, again, I think is pretty obvious. Maybe it could use some spelling out also. Potion of ESP. I think maybe the thing with the potions, how long they last, right? How long do potions last? How long does the scroll of protection from undead last? And then the silver pieces and loose coin, that one, I think is fine. Doesn't. Maybe I was spelling them out in my other stuff, so maybe I'll spell out silver pieces. Okay. So 2 things I need to do is I need to add, I'm going to add a couple pages up top to go through, to add in some guidance. So I'm going to step in here and do +2 before my page 1. Okay. And there we have it. And then I can put in a text box, which I'll have to fix. That's fine. And then I can add in, I hate when it makes these, I don't know why it does that. Bases, bodies. Heading 1, which is running the hex crawl. Running the hex crawl. Do I have that up here? So here's my other file. I don't have them assembled in a book quite yet. Maybe I should make one of those for it. Yes, I shall do that. I don't know what art I will use, but I will use it. All right, so I will copy these 2 things. Oh, you know what? That's so annoying. I find it does that. There we go. I copy those two things. Come up here and paste them. I'll get some new art. We could put the wilderness. Obviously, I need to. Wilderness girls. Okay. Running the hex crawl. All right, so what do I want to say about this? So my troop system does have hex crawl rules in there. But I will. It's not bad. It's never a bad idea, I think, to just reiterate what's going on. So I'll just say. All right. This is why I hate writing in software, because I get more caught up in the stylization of stuff than in the stuff. I got what's going on over there. Okay. Not a whole lot, just bloobs and blabs. All right, Discord keeps wanting to restart. So I'm just going to restart Discord so it stops notifying me that it needs to be restarted. Or I don't know, something else must have gone, because I don't think it actually does too much besides have that green bar. Anyway, there it is. It's gone. Okay. Running the next crawl. Yeah, so activities. I want to capitalize. No, I didn't capitalize that. That is that when it gives me that stupid style that I didn't want. Right, because I'm not capped. But it's telling me I'm capped. Because it's doing this thing. There's a bug where it's. Right, I don't have caps lock on. What the heck? Yeah, you see, something's going on up here, and it's not gonna let me. Wow, what are you doing? Can I not clear you out? Clear. There we go. Something was happening. I don't know what. Okay, that should be fixed. Wilderness adventures take place on. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, wilderness. Wilderness adventures. Use units time called expedition turns. Each expedition turn. Oh, you know what I might have used? Do I do a different? This is where it gets fun, because I have to. I was looking at something on the companion set before. Oops! I have to. I can get rid of that. I have to. That's that Fang temple from yesterday. I have to look up and make sure, did I change the naming of things? Sometimes I do, and then I got to remember what I changed the name to. All right, so if I go down Troupe and I open up the player's guide, which I think has everything in it that I want. I haven't written the referee's guide yet, so I hope it does. So I could swing this back around, and I could go down to adventuring. Yep, expedition turns. Yep, expedition turns, right. Each expedition turn is 3 hours long. Every action. All right, wilderness adventures these units. Every action is assumed to take at least one expedition turn per attempt. Period. Okay, wilderness adventures use units of time called expedition turns. Each expedition turn, should I bold that? Each expedition turn is 3 hours long. Every action is assumed to take at least one expedition turn per attempt. All right, then we could put, now I need a, see, that is hitting 1. Oh, I see, it's doing this to me too. All right, hitting 1. Okay. Because that matches up with the other ones, right? That's, yeah, right. I don't know why I'd done some weird caps thing. That's weird. Will's Adventures use units of time called expedition turns. Each expedition turn is 3 hours long. Every action, I don't need to put assume, takes at least one expedition turn. Okay, 2 attempts. 2 attempts. Low flying planes going overhead. Just in case you're wondering why I'd stop talking and if you'd heard something. Yeah, so heading 2, travel. Okay. Oh, right. Now, my original map, which I'm going to need to pull up. My original map for the wilderness, which I'm going to redraw. But, let's see, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. This is it. What did I have here? 3 miles. Yeah, 3 mile hexes. But it's all rough terrain. So even though it's got, okay. There we go. Each hex on the map of the environs is 3 miles from one side to another. Should I put, I suppose I should put the size. Should I put the size of the what the square meterage is, which I have somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? No. No. Let me see. Search. Search my own forums. See if I can find it. There it is. Okay. Gotta scroll down now. Scroll down. It is. Hold on a minute. Still looking. Still looking. Come on. There we go. Okay, we can swing this over. So I'll post this in the chat in case you want it. Actually, hold on a minute. Let me access. Got my. Yeah, put this over here. Post this in the chat. I will post in the chat. So basically, you have your hexagon measure, right? So you've got your side, height, and then diagonal. When we're calculating sizes in terms of when we say it's a 6 mile hex, 3 mile hex, whatever, we're looking at this distance from one side of the hex to another, as opposed to from one, is it vertex to another vertex, which is that one, or the length of a side. So we want this number here. So you can do on this, and I will put this in the chat, a handy hex size calculator. And this is just a mathematics website. This has nothing to do with gaming type stuff. But so you select which one of these we're going to fill out. So we don't know the size of the sides. We don't know the diagonal, but we do know that H value. So we're going to click on the H value. We're going to put in 3 for 3 miles. And then we're basically going to hit compute. And then we get all of them. So each side is a little bit less than 1 3/4, in this case, miles. Diagonal is about a little bit less than 3.5 miles. And then we get that area, we could call it 7.8 miles. And then almost, not quite 10.5 miles around the perimeter. So I find that pretty handy, and it's a good thing to look up. So in case you ever wanted to know, and of course, it's going to be, so I guess one other thing, just for curiosity, it's going to be kind of exponential, right? So a 6 mile hex isn't double this area, it's more than that. So if we turn it, go to 6, and then calculate, it goes up to almost 30, 30, it's right just over 31 miles. So that's a big, it's a big difference. Like it's like 3 times, I guess, something like that. Oh, I guess more than 3 times, 4 times? I don't know. Yeah, 4 times. Maybe seems like, okay, anyhow. I just need to know. So each hex on the map in the environment is 3 miles. I'll bold that. Where's my strong? Bold from one side to another. And represents approximately, what do we say it was? 7.8 miles of terrain. All right, more than 7.5, less than 8. Travel. Or I guess I am using I'm using HD here just for, right? So I can give each one as an HD. The hexes are grouped together into regions. There are, let's see, I've got the heights. Into 2 regions. Yep, 2 regions. The heights, which are hexes A, C, and F, and the low river valley hexes. I need to renumber those. Is those A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah, I might renumber these. We'll see. Because what I was trying to do on this original map was have the main points be your A and B. So you're trying to get from A to B. And then everything around it, I kind of did. I don't know if it really makes sense. It probably doesn't. I mean, they're easy labeled. There aren't that many. But I guess what I was trying to not do was have something where your first hex basically is a hex that you may never... This hex over here, E, I don't know if there's anything particularly in there. And it's there just to kind of flesh out the hex flower. So giving it your first thing, like I wanted to put A where you're starting. I suppose I should do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I should probably do that. Or maybe go... Should I go? That would be counterclockwise, right? Counterclockwise. I could go, if I go this way and snake, A, B, C, D, E, F. Yeah, maybe I'll do that when I redo the map. When I redraw the map, maybe I'll update that. But I'm going to leave it alone right now because I haven't done that, and I don't have a map that represents that new thinking. So A, C, and F are up there. And that would make it easier because I could have A, B, and C, right, instead of this kind of hodgepodge. And I think I might have goofed by missing out. Yeah, B, D, G. Where's E? Did I forget? Hold on a minute. Am I mad? Is there no, did I not have? There's E. Okay. Yeah, I messed up on that. It's another thing to fix. Okay. And let me fix that later. Let's stay on target for right now, but I'm good. That'll remind me to go fix that. Okay. This is B, D, oops. B, D, E, and G. I don't need to capitalize the, I don't think. The heights and the lower valley. Strong. Okay. Wilderness adventures use units of time called expedition turns. Each expedition turn is 3 hours long. Every action takes at least one expedition turn to attempt. Each hex on the map of the environs is 3 miles from one side to another. Represents approximately one side to the opposite side, I guess I should say. To the opposite side. It represents approximately 7.8 miles of terrain. Square miles. 7.8 square miles of terrain. Terrain, the hexes are grouped together into 2 regions. The heights and the low river valley. Each of these regions has a hazard dice that's HD value. Strong. Okay. Each region, each hex on the map, the environs is 3 miles from one side to the opposite side, and represents approximately 7.8 square miles of terrain. Hexes are grouped together into 2 regions, the heights and the low river valley. Each of these regions has a hazard dice value that applies to each of the hexes inside it. This value represents the difficulty of operating in that environment. Travel. All right, so what are the, let me just go back and just to remind myself. So the heights is HD3, lower rise HD2. Okay. Environment, not environment. I guess I could put them. I might as well. Might be a nice thing. Just to put. Let me find where's the bullets. Bullets. Heights. HD has 3 HD. Has 3 HD. Ah, yes, the heights is HD3. Low, River Valley is HD2. Okay. I'll bold those. Bold and bold. Travel. It takes 1 expedition turn per HD to move across the hex. Subtract 1 HD. 1 if moving on a road or on a established road or track. I mean, I should just say, hold on, let's see, let's maybe do this. Moving across a hex costs per HD. That's maybe a little bit, I can bold that. Okay, all right. Moving across a hex costs 1 expedition turn per HD. Subtract 1 if moving on an established road or track. Let's see. What other things do we have? What's that? That is the heading 2, so I need another heading 2. Let's see. Hunting and foraging. Hunting and let's see. Hunting and foraging require 1 expedition turn per HD. Let's see. Who would be, what do you call someone who's hunting or foraging? I guess participants. Hunting, foraging, and gathering supplies. I'll just put it all together. Hunting, foraging, and gathering supplies. Participants. Each participant may complete a challenge, may attempt, I guess try challenge equal to the hexes HD I guess with a difficulty equal to the hexes HD. What do I call? I need to remember my lingo. Okay, lingo for, I think I call it one boons. There we go. One boons. Oh, I don't. I'll just leave it right now. Okay, hunting, foraging, gathering supplies require one expedition turn. Yeah, I guess I'll put it the amount of success dependent on number of one boons generated. Okay, hunting, foraging, and gathering supplies. That's fine. We got that part. Let's see. What else? Okay, hunting, foraging, gathering supplies. All right, so let's see. Oh yeah, camping. Dun, dun. Seeking out a good campsite. That's probably too long per. All right. I don't know how I want to do camping. How do I want to? I know that camping, the reality is, this is one of those areas where you have the reality and then you have kind of the fantastic reality. And the reality, from what I've read, is that camping, finding a really good camping spot, actually takes a lot of time. That we don't think of in terms of gaming, where people go like, "Oh, we travel in the end of the night and then we spend 10 minutes finding a campsite." That's not really how it works. If you're trying to find a good one, right? But I'm not sure how much. I think I'm going to basically, yeah, I'll put in a little table in here for camping, but I think I'll just have one turn. One turn, and then I'll do the same kind of thing here, but it will be here. Kate's. All right. I might need to do this on another page. Whee! Let's zoom over. I don't know, but I'm going to move this up here. Okay, here we go. Whoop. All right. Seeking out a good campsite requires one expedition turn. Each participant may try a challenge with difficulty equal to HD. Success. All right. If yeah, right. Neglecting. Let's see. Let's make the table. Let's make the table, actually. And I need to... This table will make more sense in a minute. Yeah, that's fine. So I need a 1d6. I need camp. Yeah, I know. I gotta make you a bigger table. I know. I'm gonna fix you in a minute. Oops. Actually, let's just put you down here for right now so I don't monkey around with it. All right. One. So annoying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Camp location result. Oh, you are annoying. What are you doing? I'm not trying to... Table body. Clear. There we go. Too close to a game trail. Oh. One guaranteed honoring creature check during the night. Yeah, maybe I mean, yeah, during the stay. Because I mean, it's possible. Is possible that they'd want to travel during the night, during the night, and then hang out during the day. Actually, that kind of makes a lot of sense. Having not really thought about it, but you might very well want to avoid. It's easier to avoid detection during the night, right? So you might want to find somewhere and get there. But so I don't want to make it day or night dependent. All right, so 2 pest infested. No rest or recovery during the stay. Exposed. Roll 1d6 for each expedition turn spent. Okay, pest infected, no rest or recovery during the stay. Exposed, roll 1d6 for each expedition turn spent. On a 1 or 2. On a 1 or 2 discovered by cultists. I probably will have to put something in here, a bumper in there to... Okay, 4. What else is there? Oh, damp. Any perishable supplies are ruined. Windy. Fires. Can't stay lit. Recovery. Let's see. Well, I have my standard recoveries. I don't think this one works too well for me because I have healing. If I go over to strain, and I know I've got healing here. So we got the respites. Yeah, see. Right. Yeah, so relieves all battle and exploration. So if it's a breather, the next, yeah. So instead of doing all slumbers, recover only half of any expedition strain. Let's see, do I have a last one? Do I have a last one? I gotta, this one's doing that same thing where it's, let me just see if I can fix this. Oh, there we go. Okay. Camp locate. Okay, so we got too close to a game trail. One guaranteed wandering creature check during the stay. Pest infested, no rest or recovery during the stay. Exposed, roll 1d6 for each expedition turn spent on a 1 or 2, discovered by cultists. Damp, any perishable supplies are ruined. Windy, fires can't stay lit. Slumbers recover only half of any expedition strain. And then what could be the last? What might be the last thing here? Let's see. So we got animals or critters, pests. Exposed mean that you're not exposed to the elements, but you know. There's probably another word because I wouldn't mind having something exposed to the elements. Windy. I guess maybe I'll put visible. Visible, and then I'll use exposed here. Exposed. Take 1. Exposed to the elements. Yeah, no rest or recovery. Take 1 expedition strain. Okay, so there's our things. And I can blow up this table. Fill the whole space. Excellent. Okay. Now I can, let's see, I can take that. I'm going to give it some rules. Seeking out. All right, now I can bring it up here. All right, and this is in the front. No, it's not in the front. Yes, it is in the front. All right. Seeking out a good campsite requires 1 expedition turn. Each participant may try a challenge with difficulty equal to the. If a challenge is not made or it is failed, roll on the camp location result. Oh, you know what? Shoot. I think I was going to have something be. I guess it was called a mishap. Yeah. Mishap. Mishaps. Table. Twice. And combine. Right. If a challenge is not made, or if a challenge, no, sorry, if, oh, hold on. Oh, sorry, let's do this. If an expedition turn is not spent seeking out a campsite, come on. If a camping challenge is failed, or on the mishaps table once. Success indicates a good campsite found. Is found. One boons enhance the effects of success. Okay. And I have to do searching now. So we got resupply, we got travel, resupply. These are not in order, in alphabetical order, but I feel like they were kind of in your first orders of business are most likely going to be to move travel around. So I think that makes sense. Resupply, I think, also makes sense. Camping makes sense. So I think I just need searching. And then maybe what was the other one? Chase, evasion. Okay, we're at heading to searching. Locations within a hex. Yeah, I guess important hex are designated either as a landmark, a feature, or a secret. Bold these up. A landmark is visible without having to search. A feature becomes visible if a search action is taken regardless of any challenge results. A secret is only uncovered through a successful challenge. The number of addition turns required per search attempt is equal to the hexes HD. Okay, so we got, I think I could figure out, there's a way to do this Float with text. No, I want it to float. Yes, float with. I think this means that this will now bounce around with it. I've tried this a couple times actually in this document, my original version. I got it to work somehow. But other times it's felt very. Didn't seem to work. So if I do something like this, see, that's the. That is the problem. It's exactly what I'm trying not to do. What about inline with text? See, how does this work? Does that work? Okay. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what I got to do. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So let's see. Camping, sea gun, good samples. I think that's all good, right? So if I now start, does this work? Because I want to add some more text. I'm afraid it's gonna. All right. Yeah. All right. That seems to be working. All right. Great. Okay. So now, if I can get this all in one line, I'd prefer it. So change that to on a game trail. Right. Not strong, sorry. There we go. Okay. All right, we got that. Now, because I want to put in here about let's see. Hurry. Movements. A fast march increases speed by 1 expedition turn, but causes 1 one. Let's see, what kind of strain am I talking about here? Yeah, travel strain. All right, so we have travel, resupply. Oh, yeah, so I was going to maybe do, we have searching. I think I can make this a little bit nicer. search is taken. If searched. I want to say undertaken, but I think that's gonna. Yep. I feel like I'm really close. Haha, yeah, got it. Got it. All right. Okay, camping, searching. Oh yeah, evasion, right? Heading to evasion. Do I need evasion? I mean, I guess there's a chance. I mean, I have chase rules in my my blah, 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 my do anything D6 main rules. I suppose it can't hurt, and I'll pull them up. Which is my proper one? Nope, that is not the proper one. Where is it? I gotta be better organized this stuff. Here we go. Okay. Looking for that. Yeah. Uh, um. Okay, running. Yeah, it's a contested work. It's a contested challenge. Where's my thing? There we go. Evasion. Works as a contested challenge. It's a challenge. Between the pursuer and the pursued. For every one of the pursued who outnumbers the pursuers, and one die to the pursuer's efforts. Wounds. Yeah, let's see. Wounds won by the pursuer. Close distance. Close the distance. Close distance. Those won by the pursued. Increase the distance. if the pursuer closes to engagement range, they have succeeded. If the pursued pass beyond what's the word I'm looking for? Pursued pass beyond detection range, they have succeeded. So I'll just say the pursuers have lost. Okay, I think that gives me everything I need for the moment. So we've got, all right, so I got some wilderness stuff here. I need to find a new picture. Got these in here. I'm going to change, when I do my new map, I have to remember to come back in and change those. Other than that, I think I've gone through, oh yeah, and I have to do the items. I have to do the items. Thought I'd done this already, but maybe I hadn't. Why is it saying none? Gotta do that. Okay. And I gotta figure out. All right. So I think I'm in a pretty good spot. Pretty good spot for right now. It's a work in progress, but I'm getting there. I mean, it helps that I have the thing written. Now it's just a matter of filling it in. So we'll just we'll keep going with this. All right, folks. Talk to everybody later. Have a great rest of your day, night, whenever you end up watching or listening to this. Game on, everybody. Bye now.